Students, our next topic is force on current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. So as you can see a diagram here, circuit diagram is there, and one horseshoe magnet is shown. Okay. Now this horseshoe magnet is producing a magnetic field like this, and in this magnetic field rod AB is kept. Now when switch was on and the current passed through the rod AB, it was observed that a force was experienced by this rod. The rod started moving in such a direction that direction was perpendicular to both magnetic field and direction of the current. So like in other terms, if we say, suppose a magnetic field is there like this, uniform magnetic field, and the rod is kept like this. Say the direction of current is towards upward. In a plane, say this is north, south, east and west. So the current is going from south to north, and the direction of the current is from and the direction of magnetic field is from west to east. Then the force applied or the moment of this rod AB in uniform magnetic field B vector was either upward or downward. Now will it be upward or downward is given by a law that we can find out by which law. But the most important thing is it will be mutually perpendicular to both the direction of magnetic field and the direction of current. So we can say that when a current carrying conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field, it experiences some force. French scientist André-Marie Ampère suggested that a magnet must also exert an equal and opposite force on current carrying conductor. The force due to the magnetic field acting on the current carrying conductor can be demonstrated through the following activity, which I have already explained to you. The displacement of the rod in the above activity suggests that a force is exerted on the current carrying aluminum rod AB, which is in this case, and the current rod when it is placed in uniform magnetic field. It also suggests that the direction of the force is also reversed when the direction of the current is reversed. And not only direction of current, but that if the direction of magnetic field is also reversed, say for example in this case the rod was coming upward, and now if I change the direction of magnetic field but the direction of current is same, then the rod will move downward into the plane of the paper. Now the change in the direction of field vertically downward by the interchanging two poles magnet, it is once again observed that the direction of the force acting on the current carrying conductor gets reversed. It shows that the direction of force on the conductor depends on the direction of current and the direction of magnetic field. This displacement of the rod is largest when the direction of current is at right angle to the direction of magnetic field. And that is what I have demonstrated you here. Here both the angles are perpendicular to each other, and in this case you will get maximum force. So one thing is very clear, that direction of force on current carrying conductor is perpendicular to both direction of magnetic field and current. Okay. Now, the direction of this force can be given by a rule called Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. It says that according to this rule, stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. As you can see here, they all are mutually perpendicular to each other. This way. Now, if the first finger points towards the direction of magnetic field and the second finger towards the direction of current, then the thumb will point towards the direction of motion or force acting on the conductor. Okay. So this is how Fleming's left hand rule works, and by this rule or by this experiment, instruments or devices like electric motor were invented, and later on we were able to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy. So our next topic will be electric motor, which will start in next video.